So the smaller one gets out of the cockpit of the bigger one. So that another 2 mobile suits can then take over the Arc Gurren. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are back with another episode of Gurren Lagann. How about you go ahead and remind us of what happened last time?
All right, I think I actually do remember. Despite as you were saying that last statement, me going, "What the fuck happened last time?"
That's why I started laughing in the middle of saying it.
Yeah. So last time it was me being a great guy, taking control of the situation, getting people into space on a ship that was newly discovered. We have Lord Genome's head as part of the controls and a supercomputer.
Do you
'Cause
remember?
clearly-
Do you remember the name of the episode? Because you know how we have the habit of saying the name of the episode in the episode, like title dropping.
I know it wasn't positive.
Technically, I guess you could really read it as not positive, unless I'm getting the name wrong. It's something your character says to
I know.
to Yoko.
Oh, you deserve to live, or something like that.
You are somebody that should live. So yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. And because this is the second episode that Yoko's back in the picture, with her just being a cameo at the end of the previous.
Yeah, the one before last, she shows up at the prison to shoot Nika.
Correct.
Nika's hair. Nia, sorry, I don't want to say Nika. Nia's hair again.
Yes.
When they're at, I already said prison, and then we get the backstory episode.
Correct. It shows what Yoko's been doing. Then the timeline is drastically shortened.
Was that the last episode
of the death? Yes.
The backstory episode.
It was the island with the kids, her going to save them.
Well, no, she was a teacher there.
Them going into space and then realizing, oh crap, maybe space isn't safe.
So I don't think you don't have the back story of watching Toonami as a teenager or a kid, right?
Little bits, but not much.
Cartoon Network, Toonami?
Little bits.
One of the big advertisements was for, I think, Gundam Wing and a bunch of like interclipped other anime that were in space. Because the if you look it up on YouTube or anything, just look up "Space is the Place." You get like 3-minute advertisements for anime on Toonami just for "Space is the Place," where it's just shots of space in the anime, but also all the clips of people saying how great things are in space. So when you say space isn't that great of a place to be, I'm like, space is the place.
But in the moment of them being like, maybe we are gonna die here, because imagine anti-spirals being out in space, but when the invasion is throwing the moon. Crazy. And it's revealed that the gunmen were designed to fight anti-spirals. And we get the triumphant return of Team something Daiguren, because they added to it.
No, I think Daiguren is still what it's called.
Okay.
But I think it's more so the return of Gurren Lagann, because we do the side-by-side shot of half of Simone's face, half of Viral's face, because Viral's now in the cockpit of Lagann. No, Gurren.
Correct.
Of Gurren. Sorry, Gurren is the bottom half.
And then we end it with a little bit of fighting, but more of a cliffhanger of how's the battle going to go.
I think it dead ends on just the Gurren Lagann.
Maybe
in space.
Either way, I do remember what my prediction was last time as well.
I don't. Tell us.
Which was that I am going to die this episode. I'm going to because there's something.
Right, I remember
some sort
mocking
of sacrificial thing.
I remember mocking that because you're on the ship that everyone else is on. So it's like, how are you going to die and everyone else doesn't?
So I think there is going to be a circumstance that causes me to, my character, can't remember his name, saving my life,
Rossio,
to make Rossio to sacrifice himself as like I was wrong, Simone. I'm going to do this so you can lead lead the survivors into battle.
I guess just as one last thing on my part, the reason why I consider possibly the name of the episode to be a negative, even though it's clearly you're someone who should live, is that Rossio says it after having abandoned the vast majority of humans on the planet. Because, we've got to take off now or never, and yet is making time for the hot chick he grew up with. You're someone who should live, hot lady.
I get that perspective.
I mean, it's probably not what's being implied. But to say, I already know the 600,000 people that are going down into the shelters are going to be killed when the moon hits. And we're abandoning them for sure. We're definitely not even telling them what's going to happen. But also, we've got maybe 1/3 of the people in the city who we're abandoning. But still, I'm going to invite my friend to survive.
Yeah, I understand that stance.
Was it 2012? Was the name of the movie 2012? Where all the rich people go to the Arks? It really reads like that. Why does she get to be saved? I was here.
And he's just like, look at it.
Fair
just
enough.
Look at her.
How old is she? I guess that's also a thing. It's the 7-year time jump, but technically, this is information that kind of ruins things a little bit for Gurren Lagann for me. Only a little bit, because I'm just like hazy-eyed looking past it. Before the time skip, she's like 14.
Well, how old's Rossio?
Oh, Rossio was a kid when she was 14. It has nothing to do with that. It's that she's 14 and she's being very sexualized. But also, it's only 7 years, and they're painting her almost like a grandma. Like, she's a really old teacher for some reason. Technically, she's 21 years old, but they're like giving her like almost face lines and maybe a little bit gray to the hair, or a very much lighter hair tone.
Well, okay, so the lighter hair tone makes sense to me because she's on an island that's very sunny.
Sure. If she spends all of her time outside. But then again, I guess she's just wearing a bikini top all the time. Maybe she's getting carcinoma.
Well, I think she kind of put away the bikini top while she was a teacher.
When the emergency situation happens, the first thing she does, by the way, very gunbustery or die buster, to rip the top off real quick.
True.
We love the topless. Apropos of the episode, I hate the topless.
But yeah, that was the episode.
All right, well, I guess there's nothing left to do then but to get on into it. We already have your prediction, so...
Exactly, let's do it.
Let's see it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Never a complaint about the theme song.
No, the theme song, the theme has been consistently energizing.
I think it tends to find its way to top 10 anime theme songs. I don't know, I'm a bit outside of that scope because I don't know a lot of the newer songs or anything. I
could see a top 15. No, you know what? I could see a top 10 only because I know that my taste probably isn't the standard anime taste when it comes to theme song.
Well, I know a lot of, at least the people that I'm used to talking to are from the older generation, so like early 2000s anime would still be making top 10 lists. But it's still from that snobby attitude level of, oh, you're not a real anime fan unless you've watched this, and this anime. Because, the old school, these are the main anime kind of tropes. I was going to say, way back when, I think it was Shy, who was still on the channel, Griffin and I did a top 10 listing of our own. And I know none of our lists aligned except for maybe 2 from the same show. Well, maybe. But not even the same opening. One of them was Gurren Lagann, though.
In a spinning body, the axis of that body's rotation will always point in the same direction, even when forces apply to it. The so-called gyroscopic effect, one of the fundamental laws of the universe. It's so strange.
Also a toy
Just
you can
7
buy.
years ago, I was a hereditary guard
Indeed.
at the Littner Armory. I was a man who could barely read or write his name, and now I can fine-tune a gigantic battleship like this. Once in a while, I frighten myself. Is this just spiral power awakening?
What are you doing in there talking to yourself?
But yeah, we've also been described what spiral power is.
We've already done everything we can.
And like, so spiral power makes sense because it's kinetic motion.
The more we break free of the bonds
Well, it's more than that.
Aim for
Because remember,
Well,
they describe it as like evolutionary force, too.
Yes, but it's as a basic concept. It's kinetic motion because it's the idea of once something starts on a process, it keeps going.
Of man and beast intersect.
Join with yesterday's foe to smash fate and grab tomorrow's path with our own hands!
Destiny combining Gurren Lagann. Just who the hell do you think I am?
That shot
As
from
we're-
before.
Yep.
This is my final duty.
Which is why I made that prediction.
But I mean, it's also into the motif of every analogy we make has to fit into the drill analogy.
Wait, that's a
True.
There's a massive energy buildup on the lunar surface behind the Mugon.
What the hell?
It's a moon laser.
Giant beam platform detected on surface.
We'll stop the moon for $1 billion.
Beyond Gurren to us. You go and deal with the moon. Got it?
Got it.
I mean, easier said than done. You go deal with the moon.
Yep. The amount of damage they're causing after having not used these things for how long?
They destroyed in the first battle in
I
space.
guess 7 years.
The small Mugon are all wiped out.
Seymour, Kittan.
This is, yeah, no, there's flags of something happening here. We're winning, guys, we're winning.
News, isn't it? Awesome news.
Well, I mean, it's important. Remember the shields are going down because the people are getting depressed?
Yes.
Because spiral power is also based on people's willingness or happiness to fight, or I don't know.
Belief.
Yeah.
Because if you believe you can progress, then you're more likely to do so.
Any more daydreaming and you'll be standing in the corner. You sound just like a teacher. Remaining ground row units form up now.
Get it? Because she's a teacher.
Spiral power is starting to recover.
Is it because of them? Is it the power of hope? If that's true, then what have I been doing all this time? Divert all energy to spiral shields! You're to protect the ship at all costs!
Roger.
Next, his point is a leader is somebody who makes the hard decisions, but you're not inspiring
But
anybody.
it's not an order. It's a suggestion.
Yep.
In that case, I accept. Double boomerang! Spiral!
I mean, since they use the spiral power to regenerate the Gurren Lagann constantly, they can just rip parts off of it to use as weapons.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not phasing me at this point.
What the?
That, however,
Little.
okay, so he's gonna do a spirit bomb?
Well, we've seen him absorb energy with the drill before, so
Yep.
I think it's kind of like just the rule.
The moon. Go to the moon. The moon is... It is my...
What was that?
Go to
I
the
thought he
moon.
might be accessing new information.
Go to the moon right now.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt Lord Genome.
Somehow able to recall some of
The
his
rule is that we get shown something being done simply, and then we do it more complex later. So everything is just a constant build-up of the last thing. You know,
Yes.
kind of like how a drill works.
What? Oh, that's fun.
Lord Genome!
This time they're focusing on us. It's not easy being popular.
Gurren, we're coming!
I was gonna say, do you remember the thing that Nia keeps saying is the point of all this? That they're trying to inflict something on them.
Don't be afraid now.
Something
I
very
know
specific.
Stay calm,
I know that they're trying to eliminate humanity, but no.
Beyond
I'm
that.
not.
I'm sure she'll say it again.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure she will.
Gurren, can't take
I'm
much
assuming
more
she
of
will.
this.
She said it like 15 times, if not once.
Now! We've always held out until the very last second! It's just like when we stole Gurren, and when we took Teflon! We snatched victory right from the jaws of defeat!
I suppose it was always like that for you.
Now there. None of that whining.
Liron,
What are you... Just think about it, Rossiu. Come on, don't you remember? The Gurren is actually a giant gunman, just like Teflon was.
What do you think is about to happen?
that's right, we
They're about to combine the Arc Gurren with Gurren Lagann.
will keep doing it as long as it...
Because we show something simply done,
It's never
and then we
done
do a
moment
more
we kill
complex version of it later.
Yeah.
Gurren, let's do it!
Simone! What? He's gonna ram them?
Hey, move it, move it, move it! Clear a path!
Get the frick out the way.
Wait, that's... We've combined with Gurren Lagann!
We've got a massive influx of spiral energy!
The signal we're receiving is for transformation.
Adjusting gravity for transformation.
Securing all living quarters.
Okay, it's all yours. Get
I
it,
lo-
Simone!
I love the fact that he's like, yo, we're gonna fix gravity for this for 1 second. Something crazy about to happen.
I mean, Ron just rolls with it. But the fact that the universe is so fucking accommodating to that, it just...
Yep.
So the giant one has a cockpit for the smaller one, so that they, inside of it, can control that.
That's ridiculous. Oh god.
Smashing through both karma and fate.
The screams of life echo across the galaxy! Raging wave combining! Gurren Lagann!
Now it's a different name. Sorry, goosebumps.
It's a good moment.
That's... How could it?
What the hell is that?
They transformed something that big?
Good job, Liron. We can always count on you.
Now you see the size difference.
I want your burning
Yep.
Can I kill him?
Just let it go. We need to get started.
And then the bad guys combine.
Guess they can combine too, huh?
Indeed.
Come on!
And their technique is to just run at him.
Well, I mean, technically, when you destroy them, they blow up, right? So a ram
Yep.
is just as good as anything.
All right, Vero, let's do it!
That suits me just fine!
Have a taste of the space-time shattering!
First spinning! Punch!
It's improv naming.
I was about to say, improv naming is clearly not stopped.
We just burst through the heavens, by the way.
Yeah.
Was that Simon's power we just saw?
Yep. He always unleashes unbelievable power at the last moment.
You can say that again.
That was his fist piercing the heavens.
A hole in the fabric of space-time. He flung it to the far end of the space-time continuum.
Amazing.
This is it. This must be the awakening of spiral power.
I am so happy that they don't try to explain the logic in this show.
Thing back into place.
Yes and no. You do get your in-the-moment explanations, but if it feels like the show wants to, it will be like, here's a real in-depth quantum breakdown of the science, but everybody else in the room will be like, I don't fucking understand what he just said. Because remember, you also got like Georgi and Balambo, the guys who tried to dig with their foreheads.
Yep. Hey, forehead digging's the move nowadays, you know?
I don't know if they're in a shelter or they're on the ship. I have to assume they're in a shelter.
It's getting hot in here.
It'll be entering the atmosphere very soon.
I think shelter is the best guess.
Well, one of them was the mechanic that we typically see on the Gurren all the time, so it'd be confusing why they wouldn't be on the ship. But I guess they could be in the city. Hey, Link, I got some words for you.
Is the moon a gunman?
Gigantic machine? Either way, we're gonna stop it now.
At this point, what's not a gunman?
Ah, yes. That is my flagship.
Am I a gunman? That's my question. Am I secretly a gunman? Watching this, has that made me a gunman?
Nervous system. I mean, it's not like we completely brought him back to life.
Disgusting. It was necessary.
Is that you I hear, Vero? Try not to be angry. I must say, this is not a bad experience.
It seems as though you've changed, Spiral King.
You think so? Perhaps I have. Maybe I've changed because I've been set free from the burden of my flesh.
Sorry, I thought he was going to say something he didn't say. If you call yourself a gunman, that has a completely different meaning. Cops will be alerted.
Not after coming this far. What's this?
Insert your spiral power source here.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Under my control?
So we're gonna take their ship that mixed
Cathedral
with...
Terra. That's what I was waiting for him to say. It's a badass name. Cathedral Terra.
Oh yeah.
Use that in your next sci-fi game.
Take over the controls.
Right.
So the smaller one gets out of the cockpit of the bigger one. So that another 2 mobile suits can then take over the Arc Gurren.
As much time as we can.
Now hang in there, Grop Earl. Mass production models have to show their pride too.
I'm curious what the hell they're gonna fight that they're gonna be
Gimme and Dari, did you two hear that?
controlling the moon.
Give us some extra time. And then just a minute before entry, our Gurren Lagann will disengage and retreat. I will protect the lives of the 180,000 people aboard this ship. No matter how much you scorn me, this will be my final duty.
I said duty.
So if they can't stop the moon from falling, they're going to bail on trying to save the Earth in order to save the 1,800 people.
The heart of the machine.
You mean 180? That's
what I said, didn't I say?
1,800.
180,000.
Nia! Get out of the way, Nia!
No, I cannot do that. I am the messenger of the anti-spiral race. Causing the eradication of spiral life forms like you is my only mission.
Spare me the speeches and move!
Your alternative is to insert that core drill, crushing me in the process.
If that's the way you want it!
Hold on, Viral. Lord Genome says not to.
He what?
Her entire body is composed of the same energy blocks as the Mugan. If you crush her, the end result will be a massive explosion and the control system will be destroyed.
But we're so close.
Plus, I don't think Simone would want to do it.
Absolute despair.
There you go. That's what I was trying to tell you. She said it again.
Survival instinct is incredibly strong in your spiral races. That is why we extinguish every ray of hope you have. When hope appears to be at hand, but then you find it beyond your reach, that is when your despair becomes deepest.
The appearance of the Mugan, the falling of
We are depression incarnate.
predicted destruction of the
Well, that's why their plan is so long and involved.
Yep.
Also, the fact that we know that spiral energy is from hope. So, we inflict despair. You can't do fucking anything.
Yep.
You sure about that? Look, Nia, the way I see it, you've actually been trying to toughen up humanity this whole time. No matter how dire the situation, we've always risen to meet the challenge. The more dangerous the circumstances you've put us in, the stronger we've become. That's what's brought me to this place. And that's what you hoped too. Tell me I'm wrong.
You and I exist in different dimensions. My past was a fictional creation.
But what about...
My future.
You're wrong, Nia.
It is a simple fact.
If that's true, if that's really true, why are you wearing that ring?
Oh, shit.
It's your desire. Your desire to not let go of the past. That's it. I finally get it now. I finally understand why you appeared to me at such a crucial time in this ordeal.
To inflict absolute despair. I thought I just told you that.
You're wrong.
Yeah, but you
didn't realize
lied.
it yourself. But when you appeared to me that time, you wanted me to help you.
Simone, I'm right here. Please, help me. You're wrong. I was...
When we defeated Lord Genome, you said you would head towards
Ah, the show always gets me.
along with the
It's
people
good.
who came to the surface. Would you destroy that yourself? I'm gonna grab hold of your future with my own two hands. So just get out of the way! Please, Nia!
If she had stayed there, there would be an explosion right now.
True.
Look! Simone!
And the surface is fucked.
The moon is transforming. It's a battleship type.
Yes, that is my cathedral terror.
Even bigger than the Ark Gurren.
It's just so massive.
It's slowly climbing back into its old orbit.
Well, he pulled another victory out of his hat.
Yeah, that's Simone for you.
There's still time for me to sacrifice myself.
I mean, as long as you're alive, there's time for you to sacrifice yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you, Nia. Thank you.
But this won't change your fate.
What?
Now that the humanity annihilation system has been deactivated, the anti-spirals will move themselves into a total war footing. If they set their minds to it, not even you will be a match for them. The anti-spiral fleet will arrive in this galaxy to exterminate the human race and their awakened spiral power.
So then, the fight isn't over just yet. Nia,
Clearly not.
win. Will you go back to being your old self?
I will be recalled to the anti-spiral homeworld so that the data I gathered on you can be analyzed. The likelihood of my return is very close to zero.
I know exactly what they're gonna do then. They're gonna go to the homeworld.
That makes it the same as 100% chance.
So will you come to get me, Simone?
Yeah. Who the hell do you think I am?
Good moment. And now we get the moment from the opening coming up.
I don't remember what the moment from the opening was.
It looked like they were traveling hella fast through space.
Oh, you mean the first episode? Sorry, I thought you meant the opening of this episode.
No.
The lunar impact has been averted. The ship will return to the Earth's surface momentarily.
Please be prepared to apologize to all family members you left behind to die.
Rehearse the words, "My bad."
I didn't mean to throw you to the ground when I thought it was last man on board gets to live.
Exactly.
Wait for me, Nia.
Half destroyed Teplin in the background.
And yeah, the weird face of the half-destroyed Teplin.
Like I said, the show is heavily weighted to the back half.
Yes, and to me, this feels much more satisfying than the endings of Diebuster or Gunbuster.
I still disagree with you on that one. I will say the Diebuster was a very confusing show. Probably would mean more to me in a rewatch. Now that I know what's going on, I certainly don't think it holds a candle to Gunbuster. But then again, I found the Gunbuster's ending to be super emotional, and that made
Correct.
I mean, I know you liked Diebuster's ending more than Gunbuster, but I think liking Gunbuster's ending really heightens Diebuster's ending.
So yeah, because we were in the opposite position where, to me, Gunbuster's ending makes Diebuster's ending better.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you there, but I'm saying that, of course, if you liked Gunbuster's ending, that Diebuster's ending is thus improved.
Yes, but to me, it still doesn't make it. Yeah, still does not make it enjoyable. To me, it left me going, oh.
I mean, at the very least, I think that episode 6 of Gunbuster is out on YouTube right now of ours, and nobody's complaining about your reaction to it, so.
Hell yeah. Well, I think it's also like a reasonable stance. Like, it's not a fuck this show.
Give him a whack. Spirit and love change the universe. That's how manly stubbornness shows itself. Next time on Gurren Lagann. Let's go. This is the final battle.
Keeping in mind that that's not the final episode.
I was about to say.
Yeah. Again, I've said it many times, the difference between reacting to something by yourself, reacting to something while you're being recorded, or reacting to something while you're talking to somebody else. Very different.
Very, very different.
I feel the tears welling up in my eyes, but the reaction to even just being recorded automatically changed it. The most I get is the goosebumps and the, I see it's coming.
It'll take a lot to get tears from me, for especially once we get to like the where like the robots get bigger and it's all the fighting and stuff like that, because that's not what hits me. What hits me is those like small moments where you're like, yo, that's rough.
For me, it's like, this is gonna sound weird because it doesn't mean anything. Manly tears. For me, it's not like, oh my god, it's hitting me in the emotions. It's like the same way where you like watching a religious movie, not somebody religious, but say somebody's religious in the movie, and they're like watching like Jesus appear or God appear. It's just like, and they start crying, not because not Jesus himself is so emotional. It's just you're racked with a wave of something undescribable that is just like, oh my god. And it's just something. And I've always just said it's the manliness of the fucking show that we're doing something. It's just so fucking amazing that tears are coming down my face.
Yeah, no. So the best example I have, and I will use my favorite movie because if you haven't seen it, it's cheesy as fuck, but it's entertaining. Armageddon. One of the softer scenes in the movie involves them, two of the main characters. I think it's Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler. and they're by some like cottage or small house in the middle of nowhere, USA.
I want you to talk about the animal cracker scene, and B, that's your crying moment, is animal crackers on the belly button.
Damn right.
Oh, God damn it.
It hits so hard because of his response at the end when she asks him, "Do you think anybody else is doing this?" He's like, "I hope so, because if not, why the hell are we doing this?"
I thought you were going to bring up the sacrifice at the end of the movie where the father sacrifices for his daughter's happiness.
Every time.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be going. I was just making a joke. It's going to be
But
the
that's
animal
the
cracker
obvious.
scene.
No. That's the obvious one. But to me, the scene that hits me the most is the animal cracker scene. Because it's so simple, but it's a statement of like, yeah, somebody else on this goddamn planet better be going through what we're going through. Because if not, why the hell are we fighting?
I don't know.
That, and when Will Patton gives the spaceship toy to his ex-wife to give to his son, and he's just like, "I got something big coming up. I think you'll be proud of me." And then the follow through on that, I'm just like, oh.
Was Will Patton the actual astronaut that goes with them?
No, Will Patton is Bruce Willis's second in command.
Oh, okay. I can't think of anything else he's been off the top of my head, but I can see his face.
Remember the Titans?
Oh, God, I haven't seen that in maybe just a little over 20 years.
One of my favorite movies of all time. It's up there as well.
My problem is that it's associated with me with a fight that I was having with my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, that's right.
I was literally like not kicked out of the house, but heavily implied you should not come back in here unless you want to have this fight to continue. And
got it.
I walked back in. I just sat in the chair in the back of the room, and Remember the Titans was on TV, and I just sat there watching Remember the Titans. So,
oh, that's rough.
Is he like he's the coach? I'm assuming, right?
So he's the original coach before they merged schools. And what ends up happening is they bring in Denzel Washington as the coach. Behind his back. And Denzel's like, "Hey, this isn't my doing. It would go a long way if like you."
Yeah, he's the assistant coach that has the brick thrown through his window, right?
No, so the brick goes through Denzel's window. The big moment for him is when he's gonna get the Hall of Fame. Like, and they're at the nominations and that, and one of the members comes up to him and was like, "Hey man, you guys had a great run." And he's like, "I don't know, like we can still win." He's like, "No man, like you guys just gotta, if you guys lose the game, you're in the Hall of Fame, you're head coach next year, and it's all good." And the ref is being corrupt as shit the next game. And it hits a breaking point where he just goes in there and is basically like, "Yo, I'll bring us all down." And it then leads into one of the best speeches in a sports movie ever.
Well, sports movies are based on their speeches, so man. I must be remembering some other movie though, because I could have sworn that they throw a brick through his window for like, I want to use the word conspirator here, but it's not conspirator. They're like, you're a race traitor essentially, that you should be on our side.
So he loses he loses one of his coaches for like the race trader thing. The brick goes through Denzel's window when Will Patton's daughter is over at their house.
Maybe. Sorry, it was like an era of that kind of movie, so I might just have some other movie in my head.
Yep.
That's like the same thing.
Because and even looking I've looked into it, and what was actually thrown through the window in real life was a toilet. Not a word of a lie.
I mean, it's a hard throw.
It's true. But it's kind of crazy to think about it. Either way, Gurren Lagann, very fun episode. I think the next episode isn't the final fight. I think the next episode is us going to the final fight. I think we're setting up to leave to go to the home world of the anti-spirals.
To be fair, the things, the titles of the episodes are things somebody says in the episode, right? So conceivably, somebody could be wrong and just say, "This is our final fight." Oh shit, I was wrong.
Like, I completely see a moment where it's somebody on the bridge making or Simon giving a speech, and it's amping people up for us to go to the anti-spiral home planet.
So you're completely unconcerned with the fact that the anti-spiral war force, I don't know what to call them, they said the anti-spirals were going to be coming to the galaxy with a total war footing.
But I think what's going to happen is we're going to try and meet them halfway to stop them, because Simon promised that he would go to her.
I don't know. Yeah, what do you...
Well, you do know.
Well, I do know, obviously, but I'm not going to say.
Of course.
Well, that's why I was saying, the question that was coming out of my mouth was, what do you think a fighting force of something that's already got a moon as like an automatic response system?
Oh, it's going to be a fleet. It's going to be more of like what we were seeing in Gunbuster and Diebuster with the sky being blacked out.
Oh, right. I couldn't remember for a moment. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm just thinking back to a lot of sci-fi novels I've read back in the... Didn't Snow Crash also have the moon? It's like an alien thing.
Think so? There's so many things where the moon's been a thing.
Yeah. Well, like one of my favorite series, I think, In the Ocean of the Night, where organic life dies off easy, or that there's a lot of automated robot life in the the galaxy left over by the dead organic life forms, and that the the robot life like keeps an eye on organic life forms so that they don't spread out, because you know that typical thing, organic life is a disease, and it's usually like asteroids in orbit of the planets and everything like that, so that they can then snuff it out if it becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, because even my favorite video game, one of the big areas is the moon.
Destiny?
No, Legend of the Dragoon.
All right, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Although half of my heart was hoping you were going to say Legends of the Hidden Temple. Could never assemble that golden monkey.
True.
All right, well, I think that's enough for this episode.
Indeed.
Once again, I have been Theta. This has been Justin. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?